Hello and welcome back to Simply Solo Playthroughs. We are here once again with Imperial Assault and we're learning how to play. And of course we're going to be using the app on the iPad. I am going to keep this kind of off to the side because my goal is I'm going to record it as I play and it's going to be up in this corner right here. So like right there. Hopefully that'll work. Some of the things you'll notice right off the bat is I have some changes. Make my life a little bit easier. And I have also finally started painting some minis. So I'm not a great painter. I'm kind of learning like I've been doing it forever, but that's beside the point. I guess I'm painting crappy minis. So we're here and we're back. Oh, I forgot to put these over here. And we're going to go on ahead and we're going to start Imperial Assault Part 2 of the learning process. Please like and subscribe. So one thing I did do is I did look ahead to see where we're at. And we are at Yavin 4. Oh, I don't know that I'm going to like the sound effects. I'm not really big into sound effects. Allies cannot be brought on this mission. New recruits, Part 2. After a bit of combat training, you are recalled to base when Imperials are detected on the moon. Fighting against remotes is one thing. Fighting against the living? You are about to learn that's something else entirely. The second tutorial for new players teaches about Imperial figures. Begin mission. Okay. You're training with Corporal Clish when he got called back to the base, leaving you to continue on your own. You had just destroyed the last remote when the signal came across the comlinks. Alert! Alert! Imperial forces have landed. Begin evacuation immediately. In this mission, you will learn how to perform Imperial activations. The primary reference document in this tutorial is the Legends of Alliance rulebook, which I have not printed out but have in PDF form, which can be accessed through the Rules button in the menu. And that's right. Oh, it's not going to let me go there. Okay. Words in bold text refer to specific entries in the rulebook, as well as the Imperial Assault Rules Reference Guide, included in your core game. We're going to need the following tiles. Guess what I already have out? Continue. So we're going to go on ahead and set it up. Upon receiving the alert signal, you head back toward the base. You arrive at the base's courtyard to find the gate closed and locked. Place tiles 01 Alpha. You think I would have set these out a little bit better. Oh, 01 is this one, isn't it? There we go. And 18A. That's never a good sign. And a door. And this is a spare piece to help with the door. And we have a door. And we have a stand. And hopefully I'm going to be getting 3D printed soon. Continue. You call into the command center to request the gate to be open for you. This is Lieutenant Talkin. A woman's voice responds over the comlink. Hold on tight. A moment. We're busy initiating emergency procedures. You wait impatiently for the gate to be unlocked. Continue. Place Garkin on the space indicated, which is this one. Hero sheet and starting weapon with a vibro axe. We have that. Place Jane Odin here, and she of course has her vintage blaster. Round 1. It's just then that you notice the movement out of the corner of your eyes. You turn to look, and through the dense foliage you catch sight of the sunlight glinting off the white armor. Deploy 3 stormtroopers as indicated in spaces. Choose a color below for this group of stormtroopers. I think I did this wrong. So I probably did this wrong, but in that I have the bases here are the same and the colors are different. So it's probably the colors that need to be the same. Oh, well. Where are we at? We need to be here, here, and... Oh, how nice. Look at that. Is that not convenient or what? Oh, let's try. Let's try and look, see. Can we hit anybody? No. So this will be interesting to see how we deal with this one. We will choose the blue color. That was the first color I saw on this one. This icon represents this group of stormtroopers. Place a gray stormtrooper deployment card on the table for reference. Thinking I need to play the song Dumb Ways to Die. Storm. Okay. So we only have the one stormtrooper. Okay. Place the gray stormtrooper deployment card on the table for reference. Continue. Before you can react, the troopers are charging at you. Normally, a rebel gets to activate first during a round, but these stormtroopers interrupt the normal flow of the game to activate first. Imperial figures activate in groups. Yeah, I did the coloring wrong. I'm going to have to fix that. Imperial figures activate in groups. When a group activates, each figure takes an activation one at a time until all the figures in the group have activated. The number of figures in the Imperial group is indicated by the number of bars in the top left corner of the group's deployment card. Right there. 3 in this case. When the stormtrooper group is done activating, it will be your chance to fight back. And of course, I forgot to have charging for my iPad. And considering it's on and it's recording, and it was only started at 57%. Okay, continue. This is the Imperial activation window. This window shows you everything you need to know how to activate the stormtroopers that are activating now. Continue. If you select the group's portrait, you can view details about this group. You can also access this window through the group's icon on the right-hand side of the screen. Select Stormtrooper Portrait to continue. Okay, that one. This window shows you any special rules for this group, including any abilities on the group's deployment card that are used for this mode of play. For example, you should ignore the squad training ability on all Stormtrooper deployment cards when playing Legends of Alliance. All abilities on the Imperial group that use the word may or choose are ignored because there is no Imperial player to choose when and if to use them. Well, that's an advantage now, isn't it? Okay. Select anywhere on the screen to close this group window. This is a bonus that this group can get during the activation. Each Stormtrooper adds one surge icon to its attack during the activation. Bonuses can change each time a group activates, so you should check the bonuses each time your group activate an Imperial group. And move microphone. Continue. Imperial figures act according to a list of instructions. One at a time, each figure in the group will perform each of its activations in order and starting from the top. If a figure cannot perform the instruction, it will skip the instruction and proceed to the next one. Okay, that makes sense. Some activation instructions have one or two icons in front of them. An Imperial figure cannot perform instructions with more than a combined total of 2 action icons during its activation. If an instruction would bring a figure's total to more than 2 actions, it will skip that instruction. Additionally, Imperial figures can only perform one instruction preceded by a star arrow. Normally, you get to decide the activation order for Imperial group, but for the purpose of this tutorial, let's start with the highlighted Stormtrooper, of course. The first instruction these Stormtroopers have, Star 1, move 3 to attack the closest rebel. Move 3 indicates a Stormtrooper will spend up to 3 movement points to try and perform the rest of the instruction. In this case, an attack. When a figure is moving to perform an attack, it will try to get as close as possible to the target. When an Imperial figure moves, it will take the shortest path in terms of movement points possible to reach its destination. You can ignore the speed value of the Imperial figure deployment card when using the move keyword. The speed value on the... Okay. Okay, so it's showing that we're going to go on ahead and move. The Stormtrooper has only one valid place to end its movement, the highlighted space. The space is as close as Stormtrooper can get to the closest rebel, Garkin, with its 3 movement points. So we're going to move 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, okay, that's it. Move the highlighted Stormtrooper as indicated. Even though this tutorial will tell you where to place and move figures at times, this is for demonstration purposes only. During a typical mission, the app does not track where any figures, Rebel or Imperial, are on the map. That's kind of a bummer. I wish it did. Now the Stormtrooper will perform an attack against its preferred target, the closest Rebel, indicated by the text inside the I can't think of what those are called, symbols. In this case, the closest rebel is Garkin. The Stormtrooper card shows that this Stormtrooper rolls 1 blue and 1 green die, along with Garkin's 1 defense black die. And let's get some white ones. And another black one. I think that's why I'm glad I already bought an extra set. And have another set on the way. Okay, where are we at? Darken's Defense black die. Roll for the Stormtrooper's attack now. Continue. Okay. 2 surges and 1 block. Okay. As with any ranged attack, check to see if the attack has sufficient distance. No kidding. Then the Stormtrooper will spend any surge is rolled, including the free surge it received as its bonus. Oh, gain a +1 surge. So it's 3 surges, priority. Okay. So we don't need to deal with accuracy. But we do have 3. And I think he can only use... can't use the accuracy because he already hit. +1 to damage, and I think he can only use that once. So that is only 1 damage to our hero. Should probably leave some of these out. So I have a feeling we're going to be using a whole bunch of them. Okay. For each surge, the Stormtrooper will consult the surge priority list by selecting the surge priority button. Selecting the button again will close the surge priority list. Continue. Stormtrooper will spend its surges on the topmost surge that would have an effect on the attack that has already not been used. Since the attack already has sufficient accuracy to hit its target, the Stormtrooper will skip +2 accuracy and surge ability and use the next +1 damage. Remember that the block icon rolled on the defense cancels 1 damage, and each evade cancels 1 surge. We don't have any evade. Finish the attack by placing the damage tokens on the target's hero sheet equal to the number of unblocked damage icons from the dice and surge ability. Okay, continue. The Stormtrooper has now performed one instruction with an action icon of move ahead, so it can only perform one more instruction with an action icon. Because the Stormtrooper performed an attack indicated by the star arrow icon, it cannot perform another attack instruction. Continue. Let's see what this Stormtrooper will go next. You go to the next instruction in the list. Move 2 to reposition 4. Let's take a look at the map and see what that means. Continue. Reposition 4 means the figure will attempt to move a space from which the nearest rebel figure is 4 spaces away. Counting spaces in the rules reference guide, figures will always perform this action even if the figure cannot get 4 spaces away. The highlighted spaces are all 3 spaces away from Garkin, which is the furthest the Stormtrooper can get from him. Continue. Now that these 2 spaces are 3 spaces away from Garkin, there are only 2 spaces away from Jin. The Stormtrooper wants to be as close to 4 spaces away from Garkin and Jin as possible, so it will not move to either of those spaces. These spaces are 3 spaces from Garkin and at least 4 spaces away from the other heroes. So these 2 spaces are equally valid for the Stormtrooper to reposition. So which one will the Stormtrooper move to? This is the case where the Imperial Rule applies. The Imperial Rule. When there are 2 or more valid options for an Imperial figure, the players as a group should decide which option is least beneficial to the heroes and choose that option. This is known as the Imperial Rule. However, there is no time for indecision in combat, so if multiple options are roughly equal in their disadvantage for the heroes, or if players cannot agree at one, pick one at random. It's easy as to which one's going to be. In this case, the indicated space is slightly better for the Stormtrooper, as it puts a trooper out of a hero's line of sight, so it will spend 2 movement points to move this space. 1, 2. Move the Stormtrooper to the highlighted space. Get ahead of this sometimes. The Stormtrooper has performed the instructions with 2 action icons, and its remaining instructions will have an action icon, so it cannot perform any more instructions. It has now finished its activation, so now the other 2 will activate. Continue. Let's activate this Stormtrooper like the previous Stormtrooper. Its first instruction is Star Arrow, move 3 to attack the closest rebel. Stormtrooper wants to get as close as possible to its target, so it will move to this space. Move the Stormtrooper to the indicated space. Okay, so that'd be 1, 2, 3. It's gonna pick on Garkin. Okay. Now the Stormtrooper will attack the closest rebel. Perform the attack as before. Perform the attack against Garkin and select Continue. Oh, well, we got the range without problem, and we got 1 surge and 3 blocks. So guess what that means? He ain't touching nothing. Now that the Stormtrooper has completed the instruction, it's time for the next instruction. Move 2 to reposition 4. Okay. The Stormtrooper will use its movement point to try to get to a space that is 4 spaces from the nearest rebel. If it cannot do that, it will go to the highlighted spaces, which are 3 spaces away. Choose a space that seems the least advantageous for the heroes. Pick one at random and move the Stormtrooper to that space. Continue. Oh. We're going to move him up to here because I think that's the best spot. Finally, it's time for the last Stormtrooper to activate. You have knowledge you need to activate the last Stormtrooper of this group. Activate the last Stormtrooper, then select Finish. If you need to see something on the map, View Map button. If you'll minimize the Imperial activation window, select the activation button that appears to reopen the activation window. Continue. Okay, so I get to move. So we're going to move 3. So we get to move 1, 2, and we're going to attack the closest dude. 1, 2, 3, 4, and oh, look at that! 1 dodge. He completely, I think that's a dodge, isn't it? I hope so. Or is that that's a cancellation, that's the evade, that's the cancellation of the thing. So, oh, that is not good. Let me make sure about this. Skirmish guide. Rules reference, campaign guide, we don't need. Okay. Bum 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 bum. Isn't there a nice? I thought there was a nice little. Tax agenda, allies, believe. Hopefully, dice. Yeah, that is that. As I recall, that is. Hopefully, I'm gonna play this right. So he gets 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. That is a lot of damage. So he will then go on ahead and move 2 to reposition 4. Which is going to be here. Right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So this is probably going to be the best bet because he is going to, I'm not going to bunch him up. Okay. Finish. Did the Stormtroop end its activation and with the highlighted spaces? No. If so, you got everything right. Then I'm going to move him back here. That seems to be the best bet. Okay. Especially if he ended up behind the blocking terrain. Now it's time to fight back. Okay, so I made a little boo-boo. Notice the Stormtrooper port on the right-hand side of the screen is set to rest. This indicates the Stormtrooper group has been activated. Choose a hero to go first and have the hero perform an activation. When the activation is complete, select the hero's portrait on the left-hand side of the screen and end the hero's activation. Now your objective is to defeat the Stormtrooper group. Remember, you can find your current objectives in the message log when attacking the Imperial figure. Remember to roll defensive dice. Place the damage tokens taken by the figure next to its figure on the board. When the figure has taken damage equal to or exceeding the health is printed on its deployment card, that figure is defeated and removed from the map. Objective updated. 1 of 4. Defeat the Stormtrooper group. Okay, so we are going to activate Garkin. Garkin gets to move 4. So that's 1, 2, 3. And he will swack with the Vibro Axe. And the Vibro Axe gets a red and a yellow. And the bad guys get a black defense. Okay. So one surge is canceled, but we have 3 damage. He has 3 health. So that knocks him out. Anything we can do for the surge? Move number of spaces up to you. Okay, that's that. The red side's down. Don't see anything we can do. Oh, we can pierce or cleave. And we need neither of those. And he has 1 more movement left. So he's going to move here. Okay, that's the end of Garkin's first turn. Did you manage to take out a stormtrooper when the entire group is defeated? Inform the app by selecting the group's icon on the right-hand side of the screen. It is important to do this as soon as the group is defeated, or else the app might choose a defeated group to be the next Imperial group to activate. Okay. Heroes can be defeated as well. When a hero suffers damage equal to its health, that hero becomes wounded. Remove all damage tokens from that hero's sheet. Flip over a sheet to the wounded red side. Then select the hero's portrait in the app and use the button to the left of the portrait to inform the app that hero was wounded. Continue. Note that each hero has plus 10 next to its portrait. This indicates that each hero has an extra 10 health for the mission. This applies to any mission with 2 players. Oh, I like that. Take out the stormtrooper. Oh, take out the stormtroopers fast. Oh, sorry, it's a woman. Take out the stormtroopers fast. That wasn't very good. Lieutenant Talcon orders via comlink. Continue performing hero activation until a stormtrooper group is defeated. Defeat? No. Okay, so it isn't defeated. Okay, so we're going to move. She can move 5 and shoot. 1, 2, 3. And that's it. And we're going to shoot. Because we do have, obviously, here and here. Okay. By the way, this is from Army Painter. This is really cool. I've used this for a number of years. Not this one, my other one. I bought it. I found one again, and I bought another one. Okay. So we're going to go on ahead and shoot. We use 2 green die, and they get 1 black die. Range is good. 2 damage, 1 block, and 1 surge. So we can use 1 damage. So that takes care of this one. The surge takes care of that, and that's 2 damage to this guy. And she gets her second activation, which she's going to shoot again. Right? Activation 1 was to move. Oh, and activation 2 was to shoot. Okay, she can move back by 1, but not going to as we have an activation. Remember that each hero activates 2 activations per round. Both heroes now are eligible to activate again. Garkin is going to vibroax his way through things, and it's a red and yellow. I should really just leave those up there, and a black die. Okay, so we've got 2 dodges, 1 surge, 2 hits. 2 hits are out. So we have 1 hit and 1 and we'll go on ahead, and I think we have to use the cleave, which gets us 1 extra damage. So that's 2 damage. And she is going to, that's the end of, oh, so he did not move. So he can activate again with his second action, attack again. And that's going to take out the stormtrooper. And Garkin is stuck here. And she is going to attack. And we only need one to hit, and we're going to easily get one to hit. And we easily make the range. So one is taken out. She has 2 surges. She'll use a thing, does 2 damage, so that's 4, and plop. He's out. Alright, so let's see. In Garkin's activation, yes. Don't forget to defeat the Stormtroopers group if in the app if you decide to do this by select. Okay, so we're going to go on ahead and select. Has been defeated. +6 fame. Good work taking out those bucket heads. I gotta get this voice right. Good luck taking out those. That's not gonna work. Good luck taking out those Good work taking out those bucket heads. Lieutenant Talcon says over the comm link. Your skills are improving quickly. You have earned fame. Fame is a measure of how well you are known across the galaxy. The higher your fame, the more resources the Rebel Alliance will provide you, but the more effort the Empire will put into taking you out. Yeah, duh. Fame is essentially earned primarily by defeating enemy groups, achieving mission objectives, and completing missions. More Imperial forces are on their way. I am unlocking the gate to base grounds. Get inside to help with the evacuation. The door is now unlocked. When a hero is adjacent to that door, that hero can interact with the door and open it by selecting the door icon. Continue. So, I'm going to move and move. No, we're not going to do that. We are going to. She can't move because her activation's over. Okay. And that, oh wow. Minor peril. The oppressive jungle heat saps your strength. Each hero suffers 1 damage. Well, that's convenient. This is a peril effect. You will encounter effects like this at various points during the mission. The longer you take to complete the mission, the worse the effects will be. Round 2. Okay, we are going to end for right now at round 1. Thank you for joining us. If you find any mistakes I made, notice that pregnant pause right there. When you find the mistakes, feel free to point them out to me so I can correct them for next time. Thank you for joining us, and come back again and join us with Imperial Assault. And I hope you have a really good day. Please like and subscribe.